Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Toast Time. I'm here, joined as always by Jackson Law and producer Courtney. We'll start off. Jackson, how are you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Like we were talking, I'm full of spaghetti, so I'm fat. I'm happy, but I'm also tired, but happy.
I hear you. And Courtney, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I've been sitting on Zoom all day, but I'm doing good
Okay.
from from
Yeah.
9 to now.
Oh, that's a little rough.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's awful. No, I had a 2 hour meeting today, on Microsoft Teams, and it was the worst. It was worse. I didn't even say anything. I just sat here and I did nothing. I was like
hey,
on my
listen, I
phone.
don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. Yeah, today was a very
It's
long
rough.
day for me. Yeah, a very long day at work for me too. But anyway, we will get right into the program here. So first up, my buttery pick this week, and it's funny because this was going to be something else until maybe about 4 hours ago. My buttery pick this week is GME, otherwise known as GameStop, going to the absolute moon today, and I absolutely love it. I was scrambling at about 3:30, 3:45, because when I started hearing that GME and AMC and the Reddit stocks were soaring to the moon, I busted out my phone so quick and went and tried to buy some shares, and I successfully managed to buy them before the market closed. And it's just been on a straight rocket ship going up, and it's been so great. GameStop, I think, is up like 150% or more. AMC, I know, is up like 40%. So overall, it's been a good day for the Reddit army. We are back. We all have diamond hands once again.
Yeah, it. I was about to say it pays to have the diamond hands,
It
man.
pays to have the
Never
diamond hands.
never gave up. Never gave up when they took the dip, when they shut us out, stayed with it.
It's all it is, man.
But
Got to have those
and
paper hands.
I don't I don't know if you saw this though, but of course, Robinhood sent out a tweet today talking about how that it may be difficult to buy stocks tomorrow because they're having to do work on their app now
I
that
know what
these
you're. I know what
now
you're talking about, Jackson. Hold on, because
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that
now
was a.
that the
Is it the one that said tomorrow we'll be doing an upgrade to our systems, buying in some stocks
yeah,
might be
that's it.
limited? Yeah, that's actually a fake Robinhood account.
Oh, was that a
Yeah,
fake
yeah,
one?
yeah. Don't worry. That set off my alarms
Okay.
too, but I went and investigated immediately. Don't worry, that's a fake one. So tomorrow we should be going to the moon.
All right, good, good, good. Because they better not try to pull that crap again.
Oh God, if they do that again, where I will find this Vlad Tenev guy, and he's not gonna like what happens when I
Hey,
when I
hey,
catch him.
stock market, stock trading, that's up in your neck of the woods, man. Just just go grab the redditors around the rest of New York and just go rush the floor.
Oh, I if you don't think I'll get an army of 300 people and rush into Wall Street like the Dark Knight Rises when Bane just crashed into Wall Street and just took over, I will 100% do that.
Yeah, I thought about that today too, choosing, all of us that have the diamond hands, sticking with it in the end, you know, taking our losses, but holding on to everything, just hoping that one of these days they would bounce back and that the Reddit army would continue to rise up. And guess what? It's working. Everything's on the up. Everything
Hmm.
exploded today. You just got to keep hanging on. Just got to keep hanging on. Doge is still, fairly high up. We
Oh,
just we
don't
just
even
got to
get me
keep the
started. Don't even
diamond
get me
hands.
started. Don't even get me started on Dogecoin. I should be the poster boy for Dogecoin.
You and Elon. You and
be
Elon.
be an Elon Musk. Be the
Yeah, I was
poster
I
boy
was
for
joking with
Dogecoin.
someone the other day. Is that Dogecoin? That's going to be like the currency that we trade with each other when we accept Elon's offer to work for him, like indentured servitude to go live on Mars. Then Dogecoin is going to be what he pays us in, and we buy stuff from his store. Like basically his version of Walmart that'll be on Mars.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I've already accepted my fate. I know that's going to happen to me,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be trapped in that system. my Irish, ancestors, they're gonna, look down at me. It's like, we just got out of this stuff. Why'd you bring the family back into that? But
it was for the
gonna
Doge,
happen.
It was for the Dogecoin, man. What do you want me to
for
do?
the Dogecoin and to live on Mars, man.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll understand.
They'll understand.
Wherever they're at, just tell them to have come a conversation with me. We'll hash things out. But from my buttery pick, I'm gonna stick with sports with this one, and this is actually part one of a take that we'll get into when we get to my burnt segment. And it's one of the biggest things that happened this past week is the Indianapolis Colts trading for Carson Wentz. I think I love this trade. When I heard about the trade, when it was going to happen, I was like, holy crap. I love that trade. I don't care about the news coming out that like no one else was interested in Carson Wentz and that it was just the Colts. Fantastic. Frank Reich got his guy. They finally got a quarterback. They have a great defense. They have an amazing offensive line. They got a solid run game. Just put a couple of weapons around him. You could go snatch Allen Robinson from Chicago, or, even Kenny Golladay coming out of Detroit, which he may get franchise tag because Detroit can't lose Golladay if they want to have, any production out of Goff. But I would still love to see that. And then they kept their first round pick this year. So, and it's a deep receiving class. So they can obviously pick up someone with that. I think it's like the 27th pick. I think it's 21st or 22nd. I can't remember exactly. But I think if they just get a couple of receivers, they are the number 3 team in the AFC. I think it goes Chiefs, and then the Bills, and then the Colts. And then those are your 3 teams out of the AFC that have a legitimate chance at making it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I love that the Colts got Carson Wentz. I like that he's back with Frank Reich. I think it'll do wonders for Carson's confidence, and just he'll have another good year. And I tell you what, that Colts defense, the way that Colts defense played last year, and the guys that they even have around him, like they'll have Jonathan Taylor, they'll have probably one of the top offensive lines in the league. T.Y. Hilton, you could still get some production out of him. Dante Pittman, you can get production out of him too. Plus whatever you go out, you'd still get Golladay or Robinson if you really want to.
I think they still got a decent chunk of salary cap.
I believe
like they can go out and they got a lot of young
guys. They got a lot of young guys they didn't have to pay high money to yet. So the Colts are probably as poised as anybody else in the league right now to make a run for the Super Bowl. So I can see them doing it. It's just you're as always going to have to get by the Chiefs, which is going to be the common theme in the AFC for the next 13, 15 years probably. And now you're going to also have to get by the Buffalo Bills, who are going to be I think are the team of destiny. So I don't think anybody should feel bad if you lose to the Bills. You just lost to destiny. It's not even in your hands anymore. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I love whatever the bets are going to be against the Colts coming up for this season. They're going to be great because they're in the same division as Tennessee, and people I think are too bought into Tennessee. I think they're a tier below those 3 teams. So I actually like Indianapolis to come out with the division, but those odds aren't going to be like super runaway to where it's like, you're going to be pretty much losing money even if you win the bet. I think it's going to be a nice bet to lay a nice stack on. You got a chance at winning. And then once the playoffs come around, they're that team, that underdog team, that, kind of like a we believe type of team.
Yeah.
Almost. But essentially what the Bills were this past season. I think that's what the Colts could be this coming season.
110%. The only difference with the Colts and the Bills, though, the Colts have a better defense and they actually have a run game, which will greatly help their chances. Because that's what the Bills' problem was, just they didn't have a run game.
And I would consider Josh Allen is leagues ahead of Carson Wentz, which they don't even need Carson Wentz to be at the MVP level that he was. He just needs to crack the top 10. Like if he's putting up top 10 numbers, like 9, 10, even 11,
he needs to be like on par with Baker.
Chance.
He just needs to really be like on par with like what Baker Mayfield is right now. That's really all they need.
Yeah.
So I believe he can do that. Not a problem. So I will go into my burnt toast. Not a sports topic, but don't worry, we'll get into those soon. This one I just got to. My burnt toast this week is none other than my man, Paper Hands Dave Portnoy. I actually was loving it when he was sitting there doing Davey Day Trader, and then he's going nuts because the market closed, so he couldn't make any more purchases, and then he's just watching AMC knock and GameStop soar through the roof while he can't even do anything about them because I think he said he was recording a podcast while this was happening. Stop the whole podcast recording just to go back on and see what was happening with these stocks. And he is just he's Paper Hands Dave because he sold all his meme stocks, and now it's biting him in the ass because now he's sitting there just watching them all fly while he can't do a thing about it. So now you got a bunch of people that actually have these stocks at relatively low prices, and now everyone else is going to make a shit ton of money. Dave Portnoy will probably get into this tomorrow, which is another reason why I think the meme stocks are going to soar even more because now you're going to get Dave Portnoy's money in there. You're probably going to get some other people's money in there that have big players. Like, who knows, Elon Musk tomorrow could just go and literally tweet the three letters GME, and then GameStop's going to probably shoot up another 100%. So who knows with that, but Paper Hands Dave, you're my burnt toast this week because you can't hold on to anything.
Yeah, he's getting double burnt because he hopped on it and he lost a lot of money when he folded, and now that it's going back up again, he's not gonna make as much as he would have had he held on to it. Now I get it. If what he said was true, dude had a cool mill in the meme stocks. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. So
I'm talking on financial levels that I cannot listen.
No, exactly
on those. But.
I literally I can't buy or do anything anymore. Like, it is not fiscally responsible. Even if I was going to make money, the gamble initially just wouldn't be worth it. I literally cannot put any more money down. So whatever happens, but I got diamond hands, so I'm hanging on as long as possible, baby. That vaccine's rolling out too. AMC theaters are starting to open.
Yep.
It was actually going up before today because AMC announced that their theaters were opening, and it jumped up like $2 a share once that was announced. So it's that's still a good stock. So I'm not too worried about it. But that's what you get, Dave. This is what happens when you got paper hands.
You never want to be caught.
That's what happens. We hang on to it. So now we reap the benefits of being patient and having the diamond hands.
Hey, listen, you gotta have patience. Gotta hold. Can't buy a meme stock one day and buy a Lamborghini the next. Don't work like that.
Nope. All right, so this is actually kind of cool because your Buttery transitioned into your burn, and then now my Buttery is transitioning into my burn. So still kind of hanging on there with the Carson Wentz trade from Philadelphia to Indianapolis, but it's going to be from the Eagles side, and it's going to be a group of people that all of a sudden now are thinking that Jalen Hurts can win a Super Bowl in the future with this team. Like Skip Bayless, I watched that man. Not live, because God knows I'm not sitting through 3 hours of Undisputed.
Yeah.
No, I catch the highlights after the fact. There's no way am I watching 3 hours of Undisputed. But that man, Skip Bayless, said that the Eagles can win a Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts as their quarterback. Straight up, it even got to the point where even Shannon Sharp was like, "What'd you just say?" And it was giving him some really weird, you messed up when Shannon Sharp is giving you strange looks on Undisputed. And again, I know it's Skip, but I don't understand. And it's I'm seeing people talk about how it's this was such a great thing for them to finally get rid of him. It's he sucks. He's thrown more picks than any other quarterback this last season, this and that and this and that. I just don't get it, because it continues the trend that every excuse that they make for Jalen Hurts is not an excuse for Carson Wentz. Jalen Hurts doesn't have receivers. Jalen Hurts, doesn't have a good offensive line. It's like the defense let him down, and that's why he's losing games. He's playing good. He's losing those games. He did not play good. He ran the ball good, but as a quarterback, did not play good. And his defense failed him. That's an excuse for him, but not for Carson.
Mm-hmm.
Carson doesn't get that. And they look at this season, but not the past 2 seasons after the Super Bowl, where they barely scraped over winning records. Carson Wentz is still having a 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio with dudes that they picked up from Denny's. Like that's their wide receiver core. Their leading receiver this year got cut from Detroit's practice squad and started like 7 games.
Yeah.
That was their leading receiver. He hasn't had a 1,000-yard receiver pretty much his entire career playing with Philadelphia. It's a miracle that they even got to the Super Bowl. It's because of that defense is why they got to the Super Bowl. It's because they had 2 Pro Bowlers on that offensive line that could actually hold the line for enough time for Wentz and eventually Foles to actually throw the football. That's how they won the Super Bowl. It blows my mind. And Skip, dude, just shut up, man, because I don't know what he's saying when it's like, oh, Jalen Hurts can win them a Super Bowl. They don't have any salary cap. They literally have no salary cap. They are in the negatives, like 30 million over the salary cap. That team is old, and Howie Roseman can't draft good. He just can't. So how is this team going to win? How is Jalen Hurts how is he going to win you a Super Bowl? I don't get it.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts can win you a Super Bowl, right? If he's got the 1985 freaking Bears defense on his team. I mean, listen, Jalen Hurts he's a gimmick. He's like the flashy new. He's like the sparkly new toy that you get when like your old toy is all beat up and broken and destroyed, and then like you just don't want it anymore, even though you know that it's literally your fault why it's broken, but you don't want it anymore now. You're like, I hate this toy, like it was built stupidly or blah, blah, blah. But it's like, no, Billy, you shouldn't have ran it over with a car. Okay? This kind of like what's going on here, because now they got their new toy and they're like, oh, yay, look, I got Jalen Hurts. He can run. He's running the ball. Like he's making plays. All right. That's nice. But at the same time, listen, Carson Wentz had no offensive line. He had no receivers. His defense let him down constantly. Jalen Hurts dealt with the same thing. And I'm sorry, but there's no way you can go and look at what Jalen Hurts was doing and then sit there and logically say to yourself, yeah, this guy, he's going to take the Eagles to the Super Bowl this year. Like, no, he ain't. No, he ain't. The Eagles are never going to the Super Bowl because they're going to keep drafting receivers like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, and you'll just never amount to anything. Like you can't have an offense when you're drafting receivers who are barely making your special teams squad. I mean, come on now. This is like it's gotten a little ridiculous. Now I expect things like this from Skip Bayless, because Skip Bayless is, I don't know, whatever happened in his brain, it ain't working. Okay. His brain is like broken in half, and it's been that way for a while. So I expect these things from him, but no, there is in no way, shape, or form is that man, Jalen Hurts, going to win the Eagles a Super Bowl. I'm sorry. It's just not happening. Like, not at all.
No.
But speaking of people like Jalen Hurts and the Eagles organization, I will go into some other organizations that are they make terrible decisions. So my extra crispy this week is the NBA All-Star Selection Committee. Okay.
Thank God. Someone had to say it.
Whoever makes this All-Star team, how in the living hell is Devin Booker was not one of your first choices for a reserve? The Suns would be the number 1 seed if they were in the Eastern Conference right now. They are the 4th seed in the West at this moment. And even crazier, before I even get into like all that they've been doing lately, Chris Paul he was first choice reserve All-Star player. So you're telling me you're going to put Chris Paul in there over Devin Booker? They play on the same team. Chris Paul it's not like he's not bad. Okay, he's not bad, but he's old, and Devin Booker is a lot better than Chris Paul at this stage in their careers. I'm sorry, but like it's just a little insane that the leader of the Phoenix Suns, you're gonna pick his teammate over him. Devin Booker has been going absolutely berserk the past 10 games. The last 10 games, the Suns, I believe, are 8-2. Devin Booker has 25 points per game or more. He has a true, what was it? I think, yeah, his true shooting percentage is in the 60s, which is pretty ridiculous for a shooting guard. But anyway, just the fact that they didn't put him in here right away is absolutely insane. Like, he got in there now because Anthony Davis is hurt and he's not playing the All-Star game. Like, all right, but you know what? I see that as kind of like a consolation prize. That's just like this guy's not playing anyway, so we'll just put you in. But no, because Devin Booker deserved to be in there regardless of who was injured and who wasn't injured. That was just insane, especially picking Chris Paul, his teammate, over him. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I will not say anything about Donovan Mitchell or Damian Lillard because those two have been balling out all year long. But you're not going to put Chris Paul in there over Devin Booker. I'm sorry, but it's just absolutely ridiculous. Whoever was in charge of this selection after the fans vote for the starters, it's a travesty. It is like an actual joke that this actually happened. But at least he's in there now, but still, it's kind of like a consolation prize. He should have been in there to begin with.
No, the All-Star game, all it is a popularity contest. It's people that think that they know more about basketball than the average person. Just in just like a big circle jerk is like what it is. It's just. I mean, I've got no other way to put it. It's disgusting, is what it is. It's gross. I hate it. I hate the selection for it. I hate it. It's not as bad as it used to be because I don't want to give too much power to the fans either, because that's how we almost got Zaza Pachulia into the All-Star game. God knows that man doesn't need to be anywhere near All-Star weekend.
No.
But I mean, and it's not just that. It's not just in the Western Conference. So to speak about D-Book, he should have been one of the first guys in the reserve spot. I 100% agree. Leading scorer on a team that's 20-10, gonna make the playoffs, to honestly a terribly run franchise. They just kind of did the thing like what the 76ers did, where you just tank over and over and over and over and over again, and eventually
one season you're gonna get it right. So
yeah. And all these draft picks, and Devin Booker is like really the only one that's hit. You got like some other like decent okay ones, like Bridges has done well. DeAndre Ayton, they definitely like him down in the post. But also just one thing that I saw, Ben Simmons is an all-star out east. He's an all-star reserve. Dude's averaging 15 points a game. And he's around 8 rebounds and 7 assists a game. But at the same time, he is not putting up the numbers. I forgot who it was someone was comparing him to, but someone that got snubbed from the All-Star game. And there's a lot of dudes in the East that easily like Bam Adebayo got snubbed. That's hardcore. I love Bam.
That is
crazy.
Like
how does Ben Simmons make it in and Bam Adebayo doesn't? Like I'm sorry. That doesn't make any sense.
Just for reference, because I have Bam Adebayo on my fantasy team. And I'm going to tell you right now, Bam Adebayo is the fourth ranked big man. So that is both power forwards and centers. He is the fourth leading scorer fantasy wise out of the big men. You're telling me he can't get into the All-Star game? That is crap.
It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. I hate it. I hate this. I hate this process. NBA's got to figure something else out, because like I said, it's just, if you're on a winning team and you are like even the third option, then you get in automatically. And it's ridiculous. I hate it. And it's not just because guys that I like or guys from my team never get in it, but it's like there are guys that are honestly well deserving. And thankfully there are some dudes that are getting recognition this year. Like Zach LaVine is a guy, couldn't be happier for him.
First time he made the All-Star team. Yep. A couple of guys first time in the All-Star game.
Yeah. Jaylen Brown's another one. Julius Randle deserved it. Julius Randle deserved it this year. He's balling out.
Guard. He was getting MVP chance from guarding last night. I could tell you very well. The last time I heard MVP chants from New York Knicks fans in Madison Square Garden was probably Melo's like first or second year here. Okay. So it's been a while.
Well, that's what happens when you're the Knicks and your leading dude has got you to a subpar 500 record, but it's still good enough for the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference.
They're happy as long as they're not 20 games under 500.
It's like Patrick Ewing, Julius Randle now
pretty much.
in New York Knicks big man. Oh man. But all right, so now we get to my burnt or extra crispy. And I have hinted at this in the past. I've mentioned that it was going to be one, and so here it is. Maximum Football 2020.
Here we go. Okay.
I'm done with it. I am 100% done with Maximum Football. Now, I could go on and on about all the stuff that Trey has gone on about in the past, like in the past month, basically, where it's like they've got a product now that is probably going to die out with EA Sports College Football returning. Or you have people like me that I just started. Dude, I keep hitting my mic. I'm still not used to this new mic setup, dude. I punch it, I slap it. You hear like thumps in recordings that I do, and I'm just like, damn it. And sometimes I'm in the middle of talking and something like big is happening, so I can't like edit it out, or I can't do a retake or skip it or whatever. But anyway, back on track. You have people like me that even though I can't run it with sound and it sounds choppy and it's super laggy, but college football revamped. That's where I'm going to get my college football kick from here. And then for the next 3 years or so until the new college football game comes out. And like I said, I got to talk all day about, like offering them all this press, free advertisement on the site. Views are skyrocketing for us through the roof now on the site. I know it doesn't necessarily correlate to on YouTube, but the site is doing fantastic. Anthony is in the chat all the time with us when we're talking about that, and he knows how good the numbers are right now. That type of free advertisement is ridiculous. And then all the other free stuff that we offer them, and they just say, nah, we're good. But the fact that they have not updated this game in so long, and so many of the things that they said that they were going to fix that have not gotten fixed. What was cute and funny back in November when the game dropped, or October, is ridiculous. Now, it's plays that are supposed to be tosses or pitches, and literally the quarterback is just running back and handing it to the running back, and the running back starts running up the middle, and before I have the chance to bounce outside, the defensive line is there or the blitz is there. And so I get tackled in the backfield. It's annoying. Another thing that I've noticed, that if you are trying to scramble to the left side and you got a right-handed quarterback, the quarterback will turn 180, make the throwing motion. The ball is stuck in his hand and just kind of sits there for a second. And then the ball just magically starts flying to the other side. It is just so many things. And it's like, players phasing through each other. I got tackled like 3 yards short of a first down one time, and they gave me the first down.
Yeah,
but then it's
know
like
exactly what play you're talking about too.
Or it's like one time I dove from the 1 yard line, didn't touch the ground or anything, and they downed me at the 1 yard line. It's just logic that doesn't make any sense, and they are promoting themselves as this alternative. And I've tried showing support. We've tried showing support for them in the past, but they're not doing anything in return. And then to top it all off, to start out, I had to do a couple extra episodes for Vendetta University because they had to push out an update, and the only way to access and play the game was to completely delete your data. And I had updated because I was having so much fun with the editor, the team editor. I had updated about 50 real-life college teams into the game. All of it was gone. I was so pissed off. And then I go from the semifinal to the national title. I start to play the national title game. It freezes up on me before I can even play it down. And then Vendetta University gets deleted. Not the save, thankfully. And the rosters were fine. Like all of us were there. Like everyone that I originally added was in there. But I had to go back. I had to re-edit myself. And then LSU, I think, was the team I had to play. Sorry, I couldn't play your Alabama. They choked it up. They won the SEC title game, but they lost in the rematch to LSU.
It's okay.
That was tough.
It's okay. They would have just
tough.
got stomped by VU anyway, like LSU did.
Exactly. But it's just I'm done with it. And I know it was one of the best series. Actually, it was probably the best series that's ever been on the YouTube channel, but I can't anymore. I started a college football revamp one. I'm much happier dealing with that than I am Maximum Football. Don't know if I'm ever going to touch Maximum Football again. Maybe for a video the next time it drops just to see what the new one is like. But with Maximum Football 2020, I'm done. VU is done.
Hey, listen, I don't blame you. I've watched every game of VU since you started doing it. And believe you me, I've seen every single thing you were talking about. The phasing through people. The thing that used to get me like aggravated just watching it like on YouTube. I used to sit there and get so pissed when I would see a corner or a safety just standing, waiting for the ball, and hit their hands and just drop.
Yeah,
very rarely do quarterbacks pay for their mistakes when throwing into triple coverage. Like it was almost like it was nothing.
The incredible number of pass interference calls that I got in the second half of the season was outrageous. There was one where the ball literally tipped off two defenders and whoever I was controlling ran into the receiver and they got flagged for pass interference.
Oh
and
my
that's when I about blew a gasket. I almost turned them off. I almost turned pass interference penalties off. They were pissing me off that much because Lord knows I never got that call when I was on offense. It was only ever when I was on the defensive side when that flag was being thrown out there. But it was such a massive headache. It was getting to the point where I was going to record those final two games. I was like, dude, I really don't.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I could hear it in your voice. You're just like, I just can't wait for this to be over. Like somebody make it stop.
I know the very last game that I played, I was so tired of everything that it was a struggle to like be enthusiastic. Like I probably sounded fake.
Oh, I don't
probably sounded like fake enthusiasm.
That game against Ohio State where like you got running backs just phasing through the entire line, just running right up the middle, just like, okay. Believe me, I kept seeing everything. But I will say this. My character who plays safety had a great national title game.
Yeah, you basically knocked the dude out.
Yeah,
you knocked the dude out and you got an interception. Yeah. You knocked the dude out and then got an interception.
That was like one of
the first interception.
Yeah, that was like one of the only interceptions I've seen just of all time in Maximum Football.
Yeah, I got like a couple interceptions early on in the series, but then it was like that was literally the last interception I'd probably seen in like 6 or 7 recordings.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, listen, diamond hands are more than just holding on to stocks. Oh man. All right. Hold on. All right. Well, moving on to my soggy toast this week is a team in the NBA who, man, I really thought they were going to do a lot better than they're doing right now. That is the Boston Celtics. Talk about a team with two forwards that are made the All-Star team in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And man, you want to talk about underperforming? They're 500. I think they are just exactly 500. In a very weak Eastern Conference where I think the 5th seed and the 10th seed are separated by like 2 or 3 games. So basically everybody from 5 back is under 500. And the Celtics, I thought they were going to be a lot better than they are this year. It's just been a disappointment. I know Trey is still upset about Gordon Hayward walking and them not getting anything for him, which we talked about last time, how they should have got something for him, but they didn't. So now they're left holding the bag and they don't know what to do. This team just looks like I don't know. Like they look good for about 3/4 of the game. Fourth quarter comes, it's like they just go brain dead. I know you. I don't know if you watched them in the Pelicans because yet again the Pelicans are on national television. But when they were playing the
Always.
Pelicans, I think it was Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday. They were playing the Pelicans. I saw the game. Boston's up like 20, like the start of the fourth. I'm like, this game's over. Pelicans came all the way back, forced it into overtime, and won in overtime. And then before that, you got the Celtics just constantly blowing leads left and right. And actually, as I'm saying this right now, I got SportsCenter on, and they are down almost 30 points to the Hawks right now. As I am talking about this, I just saw a highlight of Trae Young bounce pass it off somebody on the Celtics back to himself, and put it up for a layup. Wow. Okay. So this team is even
Jeez.
worse than I thought. Even as I'm talking about them, I'm looking up at the TV and they're getting smoked right now. Man, this Celtics team is just they got a lot of work to do in the offseason because they ain't going nowhere this year. I'll tell you that. It's going to be a very, very long year for them if they don't pick things up soon.
Yeah, well, their own GM, Danny Ainge, has even said that he's like, this team's not good enough to win a championship.
Yeah.
And I know that he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way this past offseason because Kemba was hurt. And he's like, hey, you want Kemba? We got Kemba. Kemba's available, everyone. And everyone's like, dude, you don't trade a dude when he's injured. And he's like, we're not going to try to take an injured Kemba Walker. Like, are you serious? So I know there were some rumors about how like his the way he's viewed around the league has kind of soured a little bit. But yeah, it's just been really disappointing. Kemba's been disappointing. Now Marcus Smart, who I would say is kind of like the battery that runs
like,
that team.
He's the glue for that entire team, and he's been hurt.
He's been hurt for a couple weeks now, and maybe that changes once maybe their fortunes turn around a little bit. They get back up above 500 once he kind of gets back into the groove of things. And it's the Eastern Conference. It matters even less so than the Western Conference, kind of where you land at. Western Conference does kind of matter because you could be the 1 seed and you're still going to play a tough team at the 8th seed, but it's better than playing whoever's like the 3rd seed or the 4th seed,
exactly.
in a first round matchup. Whereas, out East, if you're someone like the Celtics, you could have all these injuries during the regular season, still land at around the 4 to 6 spot and still play a team that you match up well and could possibly beat and that you're probably better at talent for talent wise. But yeah, they have been disappointing. Like you would think that they would be up at the top, with Philly and Brooklyn. But it's for some reason like Indiana and Toronto, they've jumped up a little bit, which there's only a game and a half that separates, or half a game really, that just kind of separates 4 through 6. But it's disappointing, and you would think that they were going to be one of the 3 best teams, and they're not. And usually the 3 best teams in the East, those are like the only ones that really make noise, unless you're the Bucks and you get bounced in the second round. But it's whatever.
Hey, listen, the Bucks getting bounced in the playoffs. That's a whole.
Listen. I know they won 3 straight. I know they've won 3 straight, but I'm still holding on to my prediction for next week. Is that they're going to be hovering around 500 because they got a tough stretch coming up.
I could already give you a prediction. Got nothing to do with my prediction now, but here's another prediction. We'll be talking about the Bucks. Come first second week of the NBA playoffs. We'll be talking about them in a very negative light. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah. Oh, it'll be great because it'll be great. There'll be so many great talking points, so many toasts that we can hand out to them.
Absolutely.
It's going to be great. I love it when teams underperform because that's good for us. That's good for our business.
It's good content for us.
Yeah.
Probably not so many good emotions for them, but you know what? I don't really care. They got money.
Yeah. Well, all right. So mine, in retrospect now, compared to yours, is looking kind of foolish because they are currently slacking and putting the beat down on Boston. But my soggy toast was the Atlanta Hawks.
Hey, listen.
And
This could be even more on the Celtics because I just go ahead. This should be even more on the Celtics.
yeah, I mean, the Celtics just overall have been disappointing. Individual numbers haven't been terrible. I really love the leap that John Collins has taken this year. DeAndre Hunter, too, has played really well. Kevin Huerter has kind of and I know they've been somewhat injured, but Bogdanovich has been hurt for a long time, so they're really not at full strength. And Gallinari has been injured and not injured, but he's still kind of been disappointing because they shoveled out a lot of money to get these pieces to try to fit alongside Trae Young. And personal feelings about Trae Young aside, you almost feel like that he should be doing better than what he is right now. I know that's weird to say, a guy that's averaging 27 points, shooting 37% from three, but for the type of shooter and player that Trae Young is, he really needs to step it up for this team to take it to the next level. And when they made all these signings, I was like, okay, this team is probably a playoff team. Right now, they're out of the playoff picture, but it's the Eastern Conference. So even if you are a sub 500 team, then there is still a chance for you to make the playoffs, and that my prediction for them could come true. But they're just disappointing. I don't know any other way to put it. They've been really, really disappointing, and then here they are beating the Celtics by 20.
Listen, the Hawks by no means have had a good season. They're also underperforming. It's just you thought that they would be doing a lot better than what they are right now. And the fact that they're kicking the Celtics' teeth in is even just more on the Celtics. Like, you guys are really a mess, aren't you? You're letting the freaking Atlanta Hawks beat the crap out of you. And Trae Young has got you guys looking like fools out there. I mean, you just got two guys that just made the All-Star team. You should be good enough to beat the Hawks. I'm sorry. Like, good teams don't blow 20-point leads to under 500 teams like the Pelicans, and don't get 30-pieced by under 500 teams like the Hawks. So this is just all around just bad for the both of them. Nobody wins. Listen, even if the Hawks win this game, ain't nobody winning my book this week. But I will go into the toast of the week. Speaking of people that don't win, toast of the week this week is me. Okay, me, Anthony Fontaine. I'm the toast this week. Why am I the toast this week? Because I am responsibly retired for a couple weeks, probably until March Madness starts, from sports betting. I have had the worst run these past 2 weeks that I've ever had in my life. I just got fed up with it. I haven't bet on anything since Sunday. I've just been getting my ass handed to me by the number. Like, every single day, I'm like, I just can't buy a damn win, can I? I just couldn't. I really just couldn't buy a win. I was getting bad beats all over the place, and it was just ridiculous. So I had no other choice but to responsibly retire for at least a couple of weeks until March Madness starts, and hopefully I can catch some fire with March Madness, because normally that first weekend of March Madness, I'm normally pretty good with my predictions. So hopefully this stays the same. But I will tell you one thing: if COVID's taught me anything, it's that I can't gauge a game for my life. Okay. Very rare will I actually get something right. Okay. In this business, you're going to be wrong a lot, but goddamn, COVID has made me wrong a lot more than I would like to.
Yeah, it's tough out here, man. I did decent at the Super Bowl, but that's honestly the last time I bet on anything, just because, I'm kind of breaking even at this point. I'm like, whatever, dude. It's just, I hit on a few, but I miss on a lot more, and
Yeah.
my losses negate all the wins that I've made, and it's demoralizing. It's very, very demoralizing.
Yeah, you get like you get one good cigar every like 3 weeks, and then you feel great, and then you go on a streak like me and just lose 2 straight weeks, and then you're like, all right, I'm done. I can't deal with this right now.
Yeah, it's a tough scene out here for guys like us right now. So but we'll bounce back. We'll bounce back once we get once the paycheck hits the bank, and then we see some stuff that looks attractive to us. We'll get back in the swing of it.
Absolutely.
All right. So my toast of the week, it is a gentleman by the name of Kurt Heelan, I think is his name. Kurt Heelan. I don't know how you pronounce it. But he's the lead NBA writer / managing editor at NBC Sports. I put a tweet that he put out in the NBA Slack today, and I got no response, but I'm putting it up on here. This is what he said about the All-Star game, going back to the All-Star game. This is the tweet, and I couldn't find it, so I don't know if he's deleted it or what, because he was catching some flack on Twitter for this. It says, the coach is voting for Randall and Levine over deserving players such as Adebayo, Butler, and Middleton show they leaned heavily on this season and not the playoffs / last season. To me, last playoffs have to be considered as a big factor for picking a team. What?
Excuse me? Like, I actually just went into the Slack and I'm reading it for myself, and like I'm trying to. It's
like what? I literally have no words. I don't get it.
I'm trying to formulate a freaking thought after reading that. My brain just died. Like, it's the All-Star team of this year for a reason. The playoffs last year, the championship, they mean nothing. They mean absolutely nothing. LeBron could have been hurt all year long, and just because he won the Finals MVP in October does not mean that he should be an All-Star right now if he didn't play. Are you kidding me?
I'm on this man's Twitter.
I'm sorry, but Jimmy Butler has been either hurt or his team, their team has not been doing well. He does not deserve it. Guys like Julius Randle, who are backpacking the freaking New York Knicks of all people to a playoff spot. He deserves it. Zach LaVine, he deserves it. Wow, that's just insane to me. I can't even believe it.
And I'm trying to read his logic on a couple replies on Twitter. Twitter, for some reason, is weird, and it's not like let me see everything that he's replied to. But it just makes no sense, man. It just absolutely makes no dang sense. Like, someone asked him about, like, should MVP, and he's like, no, MVP's a regular season award only. And I don't know, dude. My brain literally broke when I read this morning, and then it just got broken again. Trying to comprehend. You can't comprehend stupid, but I'm trying here for the sake of the show. And
wow, it's really bad.
Listen, I'll be a man and admit when I can't do something. I can't make logic out of that.
I don't know what he's thinking. All I'm thinking of in my head right now is like, this guy actually gets paid to talk like this.
That literally may be the worst take. I may have to. This man is gonna make me wake up in the morning and write an article about him.
Yeah, no,
I didn't have time to do it today. I may have time tomorrow to do it. And that's just how angry I am. It may be the worst NBA take I've ever seen in my life.
I'm pretty sure my IQ just dropped about 10 points from reading that.
Someone could say that Michael Jordan's not a top 10 player of all time. I would still think that this is the worst take I've ever heard.
This is still a worse take than that. That's like, I don't even know if you could even call that a take at this point. It's just like so idiotic, and just like, and to think this guy's like one of the senior writers at NBC. Bro, come on. What is that? Oh, that is disgusting. Wow. Okay. So while my brain tries to recoup from that, because that was just wow. Okay, guys. It's not many times that me and Jackson are both speechless, but right now, yeah, that was I just got a whole lot stupider. And I tell you what, I really didn't need to. Okay, I'm already pretty dumb as it is. I really didn't need to get that much stupider, but here we are. So my prediction for next week is going to be that Duke not only makes the March Madness tournament, but they reach the Elite Eight. Now,
Wow.
yeah. Coach K has got these guys playing hot. They are on absolute fire. Now, I tell you what, when I said I responsibly retired, there was one win I had in 2 weeks, and that was Duke over Virginia because of that fishy line of Duke. They were underdogs by only 2 points against number 7 ranked Virginia, and Duke was terrible record, not even ranked.
Yeah.
And they were only getting 2. I'm like, they're only getting 2. I said, this is a fishy line. I said, I'm going with Duke here. I said they're winning this game. They won that game and then went and beat Syracuse pretty handily the other night. And I tell you what, I'm not going to sit here and go and say that Jalen Johnson was the problem on the team. I just think that him opting out, or I mean, to be honest, 3 weeks left in the season, he quit. It's not opting out with 3 weeks left in the season. That's just like, all right, I'm done. Like, I'm good. I will go to the NBA and I'll be fine. I think it kind of motivated the rest of the team. Like, damn, he was supposed to be like our best player and he just like gave up on us. And they were just like, all right, you know what? Like we'll show you. There's plenty of talent still on this team. We'll show you that we can do it. And I'll tell you what, a lot of the times people overestimate Coach K's teams. Now I think they're underestimating their teams, and you should never, ever underestimate a Coach K coached basketball team, because that man has been doing this longer than a hell of a lot of people in the industry, and he does it better than practically any college coach of all time. So don't underestimate the Blue Devils is all I'm saying. They can very easily go on a tournament run here.
No, it's like you can never count a pop team out, until then. Or, if you want to talk about college football too, it's almost like Saban. It's like even Saban's down years, he loses a game, you still can't count him out of possibly making a run. It's crazy. Coach K is, I mean, arguably the best college basketball coach of all time. He's been doing it for so long. He's been coaching longer than what the vast majority of people watching college basketball have been alive.
Yeah, like that.
He's winning natties before the players on his current team were being born.
That's crazy.
That's nuts. So this man knows how to coach. I like the bet. I like the confidence. All depends about, they get a couple more good wins, and then if they can make a really deep run, maybe even have to win the ACC tourney, to really punch their ticket in. But end of the season's coming up, so they gotta tighten it up, and they pretty much have to play perfect basketball from here on out if they want to make the tournament.
They do. But I'll tell you what, if they win the ACC tournament, not only do they go from they go from a bubble team to, like, you're talking about arguably they might be like a 4 seed. Like,
they'd be up there if they win the tournament. Yeah,
if they went on a run and just beat everybody in the ACC, like right now, yeah, they'd be up there in terms of the seeding.
That would be fun to watch.
Yeah, it definitely would be.
See him turn it on.
I don't want them getting the 5 seed though. Whatever you do, stay away from the 5 seed, because everybody knows those 5-12 matchups. Like 3 out of 4 of them, the 12 seed wins. Like, it happens every year.
If anything, just pray you get a 6 seed.
Yeah, really. Like, honestly,
6 seed and lower.
You want 4 or 6 and lower. You do not want you don't want 5. Yeah. Nobody wants 5.
Yeah, that'd be crazy though. How many times have we had a Duke Cinderella story?
Yeah, right.
That's just weird. That's just weird. That's not crazy. Right. That's not right. That would be like Alabama, like barely squeaking in with the 4 seed into the college football playoff. It's just, or what would be that? That would almost be like Kansas City getting a wild card spot. and then going on like they get the last wild card spot in to the playoffs, and then they make a run at the Super Bowl. It's just that would be weird. So my prediction maybe not be as bold as yours, but it is concerning the New York Knickerbockers.
Okay.
Now, it's not too crazy, I don't think, but I'm going to say it's going to be kind of the opposite of what I gave last week. So last week I said, and I brought it up earlier, that the Bucks would be hovering around 500 or on the downward spiral to go below 500. I think give it 1 week. Maybe it may have to be 2 weeks, but I'm going to go out and say next week. By this time next week, the New York Knicks, for the first time in God knows how long, this deep into a season, will be an above 500 team.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I tell you what, you're gonna make you would make a lot of New York people happy right now to hear that.
Listen, here's what they got coming up. They got Sacramento, Indiana, Detroit, and San Antonio. Those are the next 4 games before we meet again next week. But even then, after that, they got Detroit, Milwaukee, OKC, Brooklyn's going to be tough, and Philly's going to be tough. But I think that they come out ahead enough in the majority of these games, and they are an above 500 team.
Tell you what, I like it. Now, listen, I'm a Laker fan. Everyone knows I'm a Laker fan, but I do live in New York. I'm a New York fan of basically every other sport besides basketball. But I will not sit here and hate on the Knicks. I will get a general, like, just New York enjoyment out of seeing them do well. Okay? Obviously, I don't want them to do well enough and beat the Lakers in the finals, but let's slow the brakes. Let's slow our roll a little bit because that will probably never occur in my lifetime. But just saying. But I like to see the Knicks do well. They got a very good chance coming up with a bunch of, pretty down teams except for Indiana. Indiana should be a tough game. But, hey, listen, the Knicks have had a lot of tough wins this year. They blew the doors off of the Bucks earlier this year. I know they mollywopped the Warriors with Steph was like in the middle of like one of his hot streaks that he went on earlier this year. So the Knicks have some good wins this year, and they still have a top, I think 2. I think they have the best or the second best defense in the NBA in terms of like defensive efficiency and points per game against. They're up there. And I tell you what, you may not have the offensive talent to score a lot, but hey, defense wins championships. Now, in the next case, it won't win you a championship, but defense will definitely win you some regular season games to get you into the playoffs. So I will always be on board to watch the Knicks do well. And hey, I know they will. That I know they will. Got anything else, Jackson, on that?
No, just they're 2 games back right now. Like I said, I think Indiana's probably the only game they lose coming up, and that will put them above 500.
Hey, well, it'll definitely make New York happy. I'll tell you that much. I will let you know the general vibe.
Yeah, and like I said, I threw in the caveat. I said this far in the season because they could start out the season 2-1 and they're an above 500 team. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. You got to be at least a quarter, like at least a third of the way through the season.
We're talking. You got to be at least 2 weeks before the All-Star break. Then you're a 500 team, and
which is where we're at. Which is about where we're at. I can't remember the exact date, but it's coming up close.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, guys, that'll do it today for Toast Time. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. Also, now we are on audio platform, so you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and pretty much any other service you get your podcast from. I'm not too sure which ones you guys do, but most of you do Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Let's not kid ourselves. So anyway, we'll catch you next week and have a great night and a great week.